Hey guys, what's up? Back at it again with another video. So I'm gonna name the title of this video probably something like Focus and Persistence. Focus is really important. I think this is the second time, maybe the third time or something like that I'm talking about this on this channel. But I believe that this is very important. This is without a doubt something that you have to have if you want to be successful. No two ways about it. No other way about it. I mean, some people might get lucky, you know, and and freaking, get successful. Uh, actually, the only way that you're really lucky is if you have like an inheritance passed down to you. But I was just thinking something like a lottery. Even those guys are focused, you know. Um, I for one don't believe in a lottery, but just to mention the lottery, even those guys are focused. Those guys go there every day, probably, you know, more than once or something like that, and they just focus on hitting that lottery. You know what I'm saying? So even then, when they do end up making it, it was the result of focus. So focus is very important. Like I said, unless you have it passed down to you, don't really need focus. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure that those parents or those people who left money to their successors don't necessarily want those successors to squander it all away on useless things. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe they just have so much money in a case where there's just so much money that they don't really care how you spend it. Like, you have your own trust fund, you have your own thing, so you don't necessarily need to focus in that situation. But in another situation, definitely, in every other situation, you'll need focus. So focus is very, very important. I want to give an example, right? Let's say focus, persistence, and determination, right? The example is as this, is just like this. And this is a personal example too, right? I've really been into the push past your limits and work, getting out of your comfort zone and work type of mindset. I believe that this type of mindset and this type of viewpoint really extends our capabilities beyond what we would actually think it's possible, right? Extends it way beyond what we would think it's possible. And that's fascinating to me, right? I've been in that time zone, that space in my head where I'm over here thinking like, this is my limit. Like, oh, I'm tired. You know what? I think it's best to take a break. This is my limit, etc., etc. And I'd be like, oh, I'm done for today. But if done properly and used with the proper techniques, you can actually go a really, really long time without taking the breaks you think you need. That's where I'm heading. That's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of. So essentially, there were certain projects that I had to get done, and these are like monumental projects that take freaking weeks to get done, at least 2 weeks to get done. It's definitely more than 1 week, at least 2 weeks to get done. And I found myself in a position thinking that this is originally when I had first started doing stuff like this. Without even thinking, I'd already lose the battle, because my mindset would be like, oh, this is just impossible to get done even sooner. And I feel like my best would be to get it done within the time frame, and that's if I'm really feeling really good. You know what I'm saying? Like, to get it done in the time frame that's that's there, that's set in place. But as of recent, and by recent I mean like past 2 months or so, something like that. I've really been putting myself through the fire. I've been putting myself through the fire, really improving, really extending beyond my perceived capabilities. And don't just do this like, oh, today I'm just gonna, it wasn't like, oh, I'm just gonna go beyond today. I mean, of course, there were times where I did that stuff, right? And I was able to do it, yes, but that sort of stuff that sort of energy that I had then didn't really carry through over after a few days, you know? I'd be back to my same old, same old. But what really, really helped me specifically was actually planning and doing things strategically. And by strategically and planning, I mean, excuse me, I mean, like, actually setting timers using certain methods that'll help me become more productive. I think it's called the Pomodoro technique. You set a timer for 25 minutes, and you focus on straight work for 25 minutes. You take a break, and a 5 minute break, and you do something that is fun. You do something perceived as fun for 5 minutes, and then you hop back into work for another 25 minutes, another 5 minute break. And you can just keep doing that over and over and over again. If you did that, 12 times, you would have gotten a decent 5.5 hours of work in, fully concentrated, fully motivated, and you're performing at your peak because you take those 5 minute breaks. And then you would have also had a good 30 minutes of rest and playtime within that, So using techniques like that, reminding myself of the fact that what I perceive to be a full day's worth of work is me performing at my 40%. I like to use I like to use these paradigms and these views, especially since reading David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me. That's a phenomenal book. There's a lot of gems in there, and I encourage you to pick it up and read it. I might have a link to the book in the description below. I'm not affiliated with anything, but if you guys are interested in picking up that book on Amazon, I will put that in there for you. But yeah, it's a really good book. It talks about so he uses the metaphor of the governor, right? He said something about how in vehicles or in cars, there's a governor in place that limits the amount of oxygen and something with fuel and stuff like that, so that it doesn't burn out. Your car doesn't overheat and blow up and things like that. And essentially, it's the same case. Like if the car didn't have the governor, you could take a random like non-high performance car and watch it go as fast as a fucking luxury vehicle, high-end exotic vehicle, race car. That's if you take the governor off. A regular Toyota, Nissan, let's say Toyota because Nissans are still used for racing and stuff like that. Let's go Toyota. A regular Toyota, not like the regular everyday commuter Toyotas that people use to take to work, like the family cars. You take the governor off, that car is going to fly. No cap. It's going to fly. It's going to be as fast as, as a sports luxury car. No joke. But the thing with that is that once you take the governor off, that car is going to blow up. Like, it's literally going to blow its top off. And that's the same thing that you can sort of relate to with the human body, right? The human mind, us, who we are today, We're not really tapping our full potential. I believe that people in the days without technology were a lot more, not necessarily efficient in production, but they were a lot more driven, a lot more resourceful, I wouldn't say resourceful. I think resourceful is the wrong word. We have so many resources today. What would they describe? What would I describe those people from back in the day? I would describe them, I believe, as a lot more hardworking. And hard work is where it's at, right? A lot more hardworking. If you had to go and farm, there was no excuse like, oh, I don't feel like doing it today. I'm not going to do it. It was like, oh, I don't feel like doing it today, but I'm going to have to do the shit. So I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit that I respect. And that's the type of shit that I try to carry through with my own, that's what I try to carry through with my own. Yeah, I'm just watching this gameplay. It's really good gameplay. I'm probably just gonna stop talking for a little bit at the end and let it play out. Today's message is a little short, but it's just to emphasize, you know, focus and persistence and dedication and discipline and things like that. But yeah, the farmers and that attitude is what I'm trying to, is what I aim and what I've been bringing into my work ethic and what I want to accomplish and things like that. So yeah, I believe that, if we take our regular day's worth of work, that's only 40% of our true capabilities. Yes, the mind might be saying, oh, you're tired. Yes, you might be saying, oh, you know what, you should take a break, blah, 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 etc., etc. But if you do it properly, you can really tap into more than 40%. Just staying a little longer, you tap into an extra 5-10%, according to David Goggins. And I see it too. I see it. It's no cap. I do see it. So, and the longer you stay, the more you tap into it, So I would really, I'd really recommend you guys to pick up that book. There's a lot of concepts, a lot of mind-altering ideas and paradigms that I find really valuable in the book, and I think that you guys would also find it as valuable as I do, especially since you're on a self-improvement journey. You are looking to improve yourself and maximize your efforts the best way that you see possible, the best way that you find possible. I'm telling you, there are gems in that book. So again, I'll have that in the description for you guys if you guys are interested in that, whatever. But yeah, so just to tie it all back, it goes back to focus, persistence, dedication, and determination. Without those things, you cannot be successful. That is the truth. That is the truth. I mean, like I said, you can get lucky. You can get lucky, right? No cap. You can get lucky. You can really get lucky. But what good is luck? Like, there's another guy on what's his name? This guy is really awesome. Naval. This guy named Naval. He's also a really good speaker, and he has a lot of advice for young and not just young, but people in all ages of life, people who have a mission, people want to get rich, people interested in the crypto space, people interested in certain topics. He has advice and information. I believe he's well versed, in my opinion, in the areas that he specializes in. But another thing that he says in one of his podcasts on getting rich is that there are different types of luck, right? But he wants to be so fortunate and so lucky that, not lucky, but he wants to have so much knowledge, so much information, be so prepared, be so ready that if you dropped him in 1,000 universes, in 95% of those universes, or 97% of those universes, he'd be rich again. If you dropped him in any random street in England, in a new country, a foreign country, and he lost all his money, and you lost, and he just doesn't have the money available, etc., like he had before, his wealth and and things of that nature, then he would like to be wealthy again in about 5 to 10 years. That's the type of thing you want. You don't want it to be luck. Sometimes luck is inevitable, it happens, but you want to be doing things straight off of your work, straight off of your talent, straight off of the things that you find interesting, So that's what I'm gonna leave it off as today, guys. A very brief video, but like in the word of David Goggins, man, stay fucking hard. Stay hard. Get after it. You got your own goals. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to do those things that you need to get done for you. It's all you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's coming to save you. Get that shit out of your head. Nobody owes you shit. You feel me? So get that out of your head. Get after it. Start working and start building. And the beautiful thing about it too is that once you start building and working, right, your confidence grows. You start to know who you are. You start to push past your limits and know that, you know, that these perceived limits aren't your limits, and that's a huge confidence boost. That's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. And I'm personally curious about how far I can go. I'm curious about how far each and every single one of you guys can go. You know, go ahead, if in any video, future videos, whatever, old videos, blah blah blah, go ahead and drop in the comments things that you thought you couldn't do but you are doing, limits that you thought you had but they ended up to be false. You know, again, make your efforts strategic. Don't try to power through shit. It's like sometimes you might need to power through shit, but again, there's gonna be heavy consequences. You're gonna have days where, because you're powering through shit, you're not gonna feel well, right? So just be strategic about it. Make sure that most of your ideas are perfect and structured, and your strategies are strong, you know. But alright, I'm gonna let this play. Get after it.
An ally has been slain. Initiate retreat!
This sword is called the Oathkeeper. I've come to save you from the nightmare called life. Fidelity, humility, heroism, sacrifice. Father, lend me your speed!
An enemy has been slain! Initiate retreat! Initiate retreat! Our turret is under attack! On my way! Our turret is under attack! Our turret is weak. An enemy has been slain! Launch attack! Our inhibitor turret is under attack. Our inhibitor turret is under attack. Request backup! On my way. Ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. Enemy triple kill. Enemy has been slain. Shut down. Double kill. An ally has been slain. been slain. An enemy has been slain. Attack the Lord.
Bartel, lend me your speed!
Ally has slain Lord. Initiate retreat. Our inhibitor turret is under attack. An ally has been Our slain. Turret has been destroyed. Initiate retreat! Split push. Launch attack! Destroy the turret!
I shall be forsaken.
Request backup! Hold out, and we can win! An ally has been slain. On my way. Initiate retreat!
This sword is called the Oath Keeper.
Request backup!
I've come to save you from the nightmare called life. Bartel, lend me your speed!
You have slain an enemy! An enemy has been slain! Shut down! Initiate retreat! Our turret is under attack!
This sword is called the Oath Keeper. Bartel, lend me your speed! Bartel, lend me your speed!
An enemy has been slain! Initiate retreat! You have slain an enemy!
I should be
played.
forsaken. Fidelity, humility,
Launch attack!
sacrifice.
Initiate launch attack!
Lend me your speed!
Initiate retreat! Initiate retreat! Watch out for ambush! Killing spree! Attack the Lord! Attack the Lord! Okay!
Despair is dark. I've come to save you from the nightmare called life.
Ally has slain Lord!
This Bartel,